Town.com. Hey guys, this is Joey here. Gonna get going. Thanks for everybody's patience. Looks like we got most of the attendees in. We got a good show today. We had a great session this morning, so really excited to kind of talk about Poynt. Again, these webinars are focused around new features, new functionality, third-party apps, our partnerships. Keep you up to date on what's going on in the Poynt channel. If you need sales training, operations training, feel free to email pointsales@goboomtown.com and we can set that up with you. But you should see my screen. You should see Poynt Sales Seminar as we move on to the next slide. Here's today's agenda. Basically, we're going to go over the Poynt Sales Knowledge Base and how we set up a knowledge base for your sales teams. Poynt updates, eHopper, the POS application. We're going to talk more about that on the next webinar, but just going to do a quick preview of it. We're going to go in depth on the new loyalty feature within the Poynt terminal, and then the Bar Tabs and Pre-Authorization application that's also new, kind of a nice surprise. We're going to go over that in some detail. We got a guest speaker from Poynt, a guest speaker from cashdiscount.com to talk about where cash discount is and how groups are being successful with that. And then our guest from Poynt will talk a little bit more about what the future of Poynt looks like, what we're trying to accomplish here together, and obviously with our resellers to make sure that you guys have what you need. Feel free to ask questions as we move along. You can write in questions if we miss your question, or if there's something to do with pricing or something more specific for your channel, we'll just reach back out to you. And, you can always, again, email pointsales@goboomtown.com. But again, just because we have a lot of people on, especially in the morning, we try to keep everybody on mute to keep things moving. And then here's access to our Sales Hub. If you have not seen this before, basically all the third-party apps, marketing material, and sales material. And then again, I want to talk about this today. I also have this for you to bookmark, but it's a sales knowledge base. And really what you have here is the ability to go through different features, third-party app articles, different sales verticals, how to sell the retail restaurant. I built this literally for salespeople in our channel so they can kind of do some self-discovery. Of course, you can always reach out to my team for information, but this should be super helpful. It is mobile optimized, so if you're using it on your computer or your smartphone out in the field, you should be able to just even do a quick search for maybe gift cards. Is there an inventory management tool? If not, what are these solutions? Basically kind of have all this outlined for you guys and should be helpful for you. I will be at ETA Transact next week in Las Vegas. We have our booth 3409. I know the Poynt team will be there. We'll make sure that you get their booth number, but feel free to stop by and say hello if you are in town. We also have a happy hour that we're hosting with Talic POS. Talic is one of the POS applications that's on the Poynt terminal. So feel free to come meet that team and meet the Boomtown team. I know that some of the Poynt members will be there as well. I'll be speaking on a panel on Tuesday, selling and supporting software-enabled payment solutions. Just how the industry is evolving. So feel free to come by that and see myself speak with a few other of our preferred partners. So let's go over some Poynt updates. The first is I just want people to know that there are these features. I have it in our sales knowledge base. I have that link right here. Again, store forward, offline payments, inventory management, invoices, loyalty, which we'll go into more detail about, but then recurring payments. If you don't know about these features on the native Poynt terminal, then it's time to learn about them, and let me know if you need help. But we have articles on how they all work. Some of them are in pilot, but we can give your merchants access. So again, reach out pointsales@goboomtown.com, or the sales knowledge base has detailed FAQ and articles about how each of them work on the Poynt terminal and if there's additional cost to any of them. Another one I want to call out from our last webinar is just OpConnect. They've been a great solution for 3G SIM cards and 3G plans for resellers to sell to their merchants. So another way to obviously make revenue, but also a great way to enable those 3G terminals out in the field. So I have Stefan's information here. And again, we'll make sure everybody gets the deck and the slides will be available in our sales hub. We'll also email everybody end of the week. And then Spacepool, Matt and team have basically built these holsters that can hold the Poynt terminals, the Poynt 5 and the Poynt P16. It's great because it's secure. It holds them in place. Whether or not, some of your merchants are worried about somebody running off with it. Altogether, just a great device to really keep your terminals stable and secure. And so if you want to learn more about that and how to purchase those terminals, reach out to Matt. Going to be super helpful for, again, your larger merchants that have a certain design or aspect about their location. Mangleman, I talk about it a lot. It's the high-end salons and spa software that's kind of a replacement for MindBody and Booker. They do sales trainings. They do sales demos with you. They'll do support with you. Basically, what they offer is a full integrated scheduler for the Poynt terminal and for the merchant's website where they can schedule specialists, retail, all that great stuff. The reason I'm calling it out again today is that there's a huge change in the laws of California. So just kind of a sales tip with this new decision from the Supreme Court. A lot of the basically regulations, they're kind of putting a microscope on all these small salons who are using like Square and Venmo, and they're kind of doing payments illegally, unpaid taxes, and a lot of potential penalties. So with all this going on, it's created a huge mess in California. If you want to do a salon and spa outreach, this would be the time to do it in California, especially with multi-mid function. It should be able to take care of all of these issues. Again, there's a lot of language here, but I just wanted to kind of call out what's happening and how Mangleman solutions like this have been a game changer to help a lot of these salons and spas keep within regulations and then not get in trouble with, again, the government cracking down on a lot of these, I'd say salon owners that have independent contractors that are taking illegal, just payments that are, again, not being taxed and taking payments improperly. Reach out to Daniel at mangleman.com. Their team is great to work with, easy to again, jump in and help with your conversation, whether it's a sales conversation or, just kind of simple FAQ for the merchant. But Mangleman's been a great solution. So definitely takes on the high-end salon and spa software. Again, this is just more of a sales tip. There's a great opportunity for you to go after salons right now in California. And again, if I go back to that slide, the dynamics as of April 30th, 2018, that's now going into effect. I know that was about a year ago, but it's now going into pretty heavy effect, which means, again, these groups are being targeted by the government and being shut down. eHopper, we're going to have on next month's webinar. They are a full integrated POS solution, as you can see here on the screen. They have a little bit more of a dynamic solution than the native register application for Poynt. But with that, you can sell to a few more different verticals. They have up to 40,000 items for inventory. They actually can do cash discount within their software. So it does cost more, but again, it's for more sophisticated merchants that maybe want loyalty, gift cards, a whole bunch of different things built in without kind of picking and choosing. But altogether, they've had a great, success at helping with demos. They're really hands-on. They will help build the menu for your merchant. Ultimately, you should be focused on, building relationships, and they can come in and kind of help you, convert some of those more sophisticated, larger processing merchants. And then again, it is fully integrated with the Poynt terminal, the Poynt 5 as well. There's really good seamless inventory control. That's been the key factor about eHopper and why a lot of Poynt merchants have migrated to it. Again, typically the merchants who are processing more than like 25 or 50K a month, ones that need more sophistication, great for them to have an option with eHopper. They will also be an ETA and Transact in Las Vegas next week. Feel free to reach out to them directly. Matt is great to work with. Feel free to call him out if I have his mobile number here as direct, and then the channel at eHopper. But again, they'll join your sales calls and they'll help you convert. But it might be good for you just to get an overview with your team of what's available with eHopper, right? That way you guys can start mapping and building a diagram for what kind of merchants you can go after with these different solutions. So let's get into Poynt Loyalty, which is pretty exciting. The Poynt Loyalty is a new native feature that Poynt is building and basically has already built. We're piloting merchants, but we want to get more merchants involved. So definitely reach out if this is something for your merchant. At a high level, the way it works is that your customer comes in and they just swipe the credit card, and automatically the Poynt terminal is starting to calculate how many times that customer has come in and how much they've spent. The customer doesn't even have to opt in yet. If they want to opt in, they can opt in with their phone number, and then they can do easy redemption, and we'll show you what that experience looks like. They can also get a digital loyalty card where basically once they enter their phone number, they'll get a text within their digital wallet on iOS. They can actually have a loyalty card will show how fast, how far away they are from a reward. And then there's great customer management tools where within Poynt HQ, you can actually extract all your customer data, and you can get your customer information as well. Again, feel free to write in questions if you need to, but I'm going to go through this kind of, hopefully pretty slowly, but again, I know there's some things that I will miss. Once the customer wants to join, you'll see that join button on the checkout screen. Join, they put in their phone number, and it will basically attach that phone number to that credit card. So every time they use that credit card, you'll see how many points they've accrued over time. So it should be pretty seamless. They don't need to bring in a punch card. They don't really need to hold on to anything. Again, it's going to calculate everything through the credit card. You can add multiple credit cards to a phone number or to the same account. That's completely fine. And there's easy ways to do that for the merchant, or obviously for the merchant and their customer. Once they get basically a reward, they can redeem it right on the screen, and then you as the customer can choose what that reward is, how how much spend they have to utilize to get that reward. Once you opt in using your phone number as the customer, you're going to get that text. It's going to build a digital wallet in iOS, not for Android today, but you'll still be able to calculate the customer's spend for Android. Again, just a really neat tool that with the mobile wallet on iOS, you have the ability to basically get that card for the customer so they can see how far they are from a reward. But this is pretty awesome. I'm actually really pumped about this. There's a lot of companies in the Bay Area that make a lot of money off payments and loyalty. So the fact that you have the ability to do this now is kind of a game changer for you. When you go into Poynt HQ, which all merchants, their desktop or mobile device, they'll see all their customers, they'll see customer information. They can actually add points manually, maybe if there's a cash transaction. And then also it's really easy for you to just kind of do a quick CSV, upload or dump of basically all of your customer information. So download that customer information. Maybe you have MailChimp or Constant Contact. You're using an email marketing platform. You can extract all that information, but you can also go there for bird's eye view on how the loyalty is going, and maybe you can help your merchant understand the ROI, which is super, super helpful and a great value add for your merchants. So this is all built into by the Poynt team in the native software. When the merchant goes into their loyalty tab, which will be in Poynt HQ, they can start creating what the message will be, how many points are needed, pop-up messages, and all that wonderful stuff. That is all available again through the Poynt HQ for the merchant. So that's loyalty. Again, let me know if you have any questions about that. I'm really excited about that. That's kind of a no-brainer to add to your sales pitch. There might be an additional fee for loyalty coming up, but right now we're kind of trying to look to grandfather some of your merchants in. So reach out to pointsales@goboomtown.com. All right, so pre-authorization and bar tabs, a new third-party application that allows you to do pre-authorization and bar tabs, which is actually pretty damn awesome. If you have a bar, if you have, let's say a restaurant or anybody wants to, name a customer, take tabs. You can authorize the credit card. The catalog will actually pull the catalog from the Poynt terminal. So it's the same catalog, and then you can check out. If you authorize, you can obviously check out later. If you want to pay, you can check out on the dual screen or the customer checkout screen, or it takes all payment types again, but you can basically, you can also, check out and have the customer adjust the receipt or add tips to the receipt. So it really depends on how, what the flow is for your customer, but, great that this is available now, and really excited to see, that they have access to this. And then I just got a question if there's a portal or way to access this webinar and all this information. Yes, it is on our Sales Hub. I talked about that right at the beginning on that Sales Hub slide. I'll make sure you get that, but basically our Sales Hub has all of our third-party apps, all of the content for our webinars, and all these videos on our webinars. And I'll make sure all the slides are there too. So here's the pricing for pre-authorization and again, the ability to do customer tabs. If you put in the credit card information, it's going to actually automatically put a name for the customer, but you can actually change that name as well. Feel free to reach out to their team directly if you have any questions, but they have cash discount and surcharge coming in a few weeks, which will be integrated to the Rocket tabs. But altogether, this is pretty damn neat, because now you have the ability to be really competitive with other POS. And if your merchant doesn't need all the bells and whistles, they just need pre-authorization bar tabs. This is kind of a no-brainer for your merchant. So really excited to introduce this to the Poynt marketplace, and I think this is going to be kind of a home run solution for a lot of our resellers and a lot of the merchants. And then I put a knowledge base article here, promo video, and a how-to video. Again, you'll get access to these. We'll email everybody who's on these webinars the deck and the recording, but you'll also have access to our Sales Hub with that information. Right now, I do have Bob Wesley from Poynt on our webinar. Hey, Bob, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, how are you, Bob?
Good, good, fantastic. So thank you very much, Joey. As Boomtown will be certainly at Transact 2019. So will Poynt. We have a booth, booth 1712, and there we're going to be demonstrating a lot of our our products and services, some of our partner apps, etc. So we encourage you, if you're showing up at Transact 2019, to please join us. And I'll also be giving I'll be on a panel talking about DevX, the race to winning the developer experience. So I'd like to see you there as well.
And Bob, thanks for joining us today. I know it's really special for the resellers to hear from the Poynt team directly on kind of what's going on with Poynt, how are things changing, and kind of the overall mission for you guys in the next year, next few years. But just wanted to do a quick introduction of you and get kind of what you're doing with the Poynt team.
Sure, sounds great. Um, so so what we're currently doing is we're actually spending a lot more time with the ISO and ISV based channel. Um, we've had great partners like Boomtown, but we wanted to actually spend more time supporting them in terms of helping you all differentiate yourselves in the marketplace, because we know that payments are becoming a far more competitive based market.
And Bob, how is Poynt helping change the way payments are sold to merchants? What are some of the things that you guys are doing on the Poynt team that really help, obviously, these resellers and obviously help them close more merchants?
Well, we really believe if you're just focused on payments, you're probably missing the bigger picture on what's evolving and what's changing. We're really enabling people who are selling payments to merchants to change their their sales solution to a value solution rather than a rate solution. And we're giving them a lot of flexibility to work across a lot of verticals. So many of the ones that you mentioned before, but there's really a whole host of verticals, and some of them actually surprised me. Traditional ones like retail, restaurant, health and beauty, but auto repairs, nonprofits, lodging, events. In fact, you mentioned eHopper before. They've just recently announced that they've completed their integration into the Poynt 5, and now they're going after events and stadium venues. So it's pretty exciting. So no longer will you have to just compete on rate, but you can actually become a consultant and help businesses and help merchants grow their business.
Absolutely. And then how do you see Poynt helping ISOs compete in the merchant acquiring space today specifically? What are the kind of differentiate, how do you differentiate yourself against other smart terminals, I should say?
Yeah, well, so if you look out in the market, the two main competitors are Square, and they're probably taking your business or trying to take your business away from you. And they have a one-stop type of shop. They offer credit card processing, etc. And then you'll see other competitors like Clover. They do a good job, but you're kind of restricted to one payment processing platform, and you have to kind of do it their way. We see ourselves as being more flexible and being able to offer products and services that will allow you to differentiate your business. In fact, we even allow people to develop their own apps. I had an ISO call me the other day, and they were thinking of introducing their own surcharging and cash discount app. And we put them together with a developer to help them develop their own product that they could offer, especially to their customers. So our platform is really the powerful play. Although a lot of people know us for really great looking devices, and I don't think anybody else has devices that are quite as unique as ours. And I've seen our devices alone sell the value proposition, but there's much more. There's a connected commerce platform that's behind that, and it's going to actually bring a lot more power to the individual ISOs.
And then with that, Bob, what makes your app, the app marketplace, what makes it so special with Poynt? What are some of the things that you guys are creating in the app marketplace that are obviously making it more competitive than other products that have that app marketplace or don't have an app marketplace?
Yeah, so simply said, we have 6,500 developers that are actually actively working on the app place, and so you saw like Rocket Tabs, Atif and his group, some of the unique things that they're actually able to bring to the table and help differentiate themselves, in the marketplace. We have a lot of people working on different verticals and different areas. The thing that makes us truly unique is we have a matured-based platform that's easy. If anybody wants to actually start developing, they can quickly register. And then within a few minutes after registering, they have an emulator that they can start working on and developing. They can get their own development kit. We have experts, behind supporting our app store that can give advice. We can advise you on outside-based developers as well. So we have a fairly mature-based platform that provides not only your ability to attack different verticals, but offer different horizontal types of applications for everything from time clocks to coordinating with or entering your information automatically in QuickBooks. So a lot of feature and functionality that helps the back office of every merchant.
And then do you think your team will build more applications or build more native features on the Poynt register in the Poynt kind of cloud?
Absolutely. We believe that it's very important for us to continue to develop and innovate, on our app platform. You mentioned the loyalty app before. That's an example. We also do that also to encourage other developers to try to come up with a better approach, to offer new approaches or different approaches as well. And so by us, continuing to develop on our own platform, we can make it better and easier for other developers to do the same.
And then one last question for you, Bob. What are the new features and functionalities coming along? Like, what are some of the things that we should expect, whether it be in the app market or the native software? Are there any highlights that you guys are really excited about internally at Poynt? Anything that we can, obviously communicate across our resellers and our teams?
Yeah, so one of the things I'm pretty excited about is we're changing or improving the out-of-box experience, making it a much easier process for the merchants to turn on and register the Poynt device. We want to make it happen within minutes, rather than a little extra time that it takes today. And so we're just about ready to launch that, and I think it's going to improve that overall experience. We're also looking at new tender types, QR wallet support, for like Alipay and WeChat Pay and even Chase Pay. That's also very important, especially when you get foreign visitors coming here, and if you appeal to, let's say, the Chinese market or whatever, we think that that's going to be a real big win. We're launching things like card tokenization, store and forward, and advanced tax solutions. One of the ones I really like a lot is called Invoicing, where if you're like a club or something like that, you can send out invoices and have them pay on that invoice. And then we're pushing things like least cost routing, especially for the debit-based market. And, looking a little bit more into the future, we are doing some things in terms of expanding inventory management, a cloud register, and even text to speech. But one of the things that really interests me the most is we do have a platform, and it really is ready to help enable any point of purchase. And so we're going to be doing some integrations with e-commerce-based platforms so that you're going to be able to offer more solutions in that area as well.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the questions I had today. And I know I really appreciate you coming on here and, again, giving kind of the forecast for our resellers. It's always great to have them here from Poynt directly. But thank you, Bob, for joining today, and really do appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, Joey. And I'd like to add, we're here to help you grow your business. So if any of your customers would like to reach out to you, and then you can contact us, we'll be happy to sit down with them and analyze their business and give them some suggestions on how they can leverage the Poynt platform to help them build a better competitive advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, they've been great to work with. We've done a lot of strategic meetings with groups that want to get more involved with Poynt. So if you feel like you want to, coordinate a call between Bob and I, or even just with the Poynt team directly, I have his contact information over there in the bottom right corner. Feel free to share your feedback with them. They're willing to help. They want to help. we have a pretty successful model right now. We want to just keep doing everything we can to make sure that you guys have what you need to be successful. But Bob, thanks again. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for joining today.
And thank you, Joey. We greatly appreciate your partnership, and we think you do a great job in supporting the Poynt product. Thank you.
All right, so moving on. Thanks, Bob. I have Damon Luke from cashdiscount.com here.
How you doing, Joey?
Good, man. Thanks for taking the time today. Obviously, still a hot topic in the payments industry. You have a lot of expertise working with a lot of groups, building out programs for Cash Discount, and because your app is on the Poynt terminal, it's even more effective for our resellers. So really excited about that, and excited to have you here today. So we'll go through some slides, but I'm going to ask you some questions and just kind of go through, at a high level, what's going on in the marketplace and how your team can help. One of the first questions I have is, how are cash discount programs doing overall at a high level? I know there was some kind of scrutiny with the Visa statement, but how are they doing?
Yeah, I mean, from a high level, it's interesting because a lot of people saw the Visa statement. There's those Visa rules as we know them, and it's interesting because some people thought, oh man, there it goes. Visa's putting their foot down. When you actually look at it, what it does is it's just trying to help standardize some things so that everybody's playing above board, and it's actually kind of them giving their blessing on it. So in general, from the feedback that I hear, there are tons and tons of ISOs and processors and just groups in general that are both feet in. They're pouring gas on the fire and they're moving ahead like crazy because it's such a great opportunity for merchants to increase their profits and adjust their bottom line.
And then are you seeing any groups declining, or are the programs altogether growing? I think it's what it seems like is they're growing exponentially, even though with some of the hiccups that have been in the program, I've seen a lot of groups just completely full speed.
Yeah, no, it's definitely growing. There's always going to be an environment like we have right now where, if you look at it, you've got legislation behind it that says move forward with our blessing and nobody can get in your way. Visa is saying, hey, we do need to make sure we got some boundaries on this, but and so for some, they're kind of looking at it going, okay, well, we don't want to get in trouble with anybody. In reality, as long as they're following the basic assumptions out there, everybody's in a great spot, and those assumptions aren't very restrictive at all. What it is mainly just making sure that the payment industry in general, however a processor is offering their program, they're doing it in a way that is shining a positive light on the payment industry. And so that's really the main concern here. And so that's a big part of what we're doing here is making sure that we're bringing that to light, that everybody knows, okay, here's what's expected, and that we're going about it the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like a lot of the groups, that you're working with, are there, and actually I'm going to move on to the next slide here. They're using your application. It's $9.99 a month, which is obviously really, low price, so they can just jump right into it. It uses the same payment, or basically it's a reflection of the same register application. So the experience doesn't change. They just use a different application for that, for the cash discount, right?
Right. Yeah. So basically, it allows them to go in, use the similar functionality that they're already familiar with, using the Poynt terminal. But what it does, it automates that cash discount functionality so that you can participate in the plan. You're not having to worry about retraining employees. It's a great selling point because as a processor, as a company, you're not having to come up with your own app. You're not having to come up with all the cost for development and the support, but you can simply say, hey, we offer a program, cash discount program. Here's a really great new tool. It's going to allow them to be sticky to you as a processor. You're building that relationship because we're completely processor agnostic. So we're not trying to pull business away from anyone. What we're doing is trying to solidify that relationship that you already have with your merchant even more. And then, they can go in, run their transactions. It's done, the adjustments made on the transaction level. So that way we're not messing up anything on the back end accounting. And we're just moving forward with an automated solution at $10 a month. It's really a great solution for anybody that's trying to go out, get more business, offer that cash discount, program as a new tool to win that business over. And now, I wrote a blog recently about the increase the rising costs. Everybody's revenue is going really well right now, but those costs are trailing just behind it, and so profits are down. They're stagnant. And so this is a great way to say, look, how about a quick, without really lifting a finger, a quick infusion of 3.5-4% to your bottom line. So it's a real kind of no-brainer win-win situation for a lot of agents out there.
And what kind of merchants? I mean, you see it as a bird's eye view. What kind of merchants are they converting? What are the best merchants? If I'm new to Cash Discount, I want to get involved. What are the merchants I should kind of target and go after?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much any kind of brick and mortar type of merchant out there. So your little cafes, your restaurants, your automotive, even some of the more like gift shop type of environments. There's a lot of different industries, and what's interesting, Joey, is because 6 months ago it was people were really excited about it, but they just didn't know much, and now 6 months later we're seeing, hey, this is actually okay. Things are moving fine. As you got on the screen there, we've got legislation behind us. We're protected there. We're seeing more and more diverse industries and verticals jumping in, saying, hey, we want to actually participate in this because they're also feeling that strain on their profits. And that's a huge driver right now for merchants, is how do we increase our profits? Because you take an extra $500 a month, an extra $2,000 a month. Well, what can that do for your marketing? What can that do for your equipment? And so on and so forth.
Yeah, as Bob on Poynt said it, if you're just selling payments, you're not selling correctly today, because you got to retain your merchants. You got to build some revenue. So the Durbin Amendment, obviously, that's what should fuel us. That's what has put us on a path forward. It's really explained. This isn't a surcharge. This is a cash discount. It is legal. Well, let's talk about the Visa statement. Obviously, that created a lot of buzz. How is Visa cracking down? What does that mean? Is that true? Are they cracking down? I'd love to understand, your view on that.
Yeah. So really what it is that, cash discounting is approved and it's legal in all 50 states. You mentioned surcharging. There are some states that don't allow that. What it really comes down to on the cash discount side is Visa, they're definitely not cracking down. What they're trying to do is help establish more of a standard, something that everybody can kind of work within, because as I've heard it put, they don't want it to be the Wild West, where somebody, and a lot of it comes back to the card brands. They want to make sure that the card brands are being treated fair across the board, but also, that there's a good reputation of it, that it's not being perceived in a bad light. Because really what it comes down to is it's the merchants that are saying, look, we just can't shoulder the burden in a lot of cases. So how can we get through this? Well, here you go. This is how it's done. And so that's really what this bulletin that came out from Visa is talking about. It's, hey, here's some guidelines that we have, and here's what we want to see, and move forward and have a blast, and let's go do this. All right, let's go be professionals in the processing and the payments industry. I think you might be on mute, Joey. I don't know if we lost your audio there.
Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry about that.
Okay.
One of the things that I'm trying to figure out is, can you really eliminate all fees? Tell me about that. When someone says like, oh yeah, cash discount eliminates all fees. What does that mean? I mean, can you really do that for the merchant? I'd love to hear what, the way you'd explain that.
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. And this, as it goes, as we filter this out to the agents, it's important to know that yes, we are, and a merchant is definitely attracted by that idea that I could run my business and not pay any fees. We hear the term zero fee a lot. Those types of buzzwords, I mean, they're certainly catchy. Visa isn't the biggest fan from what I'm hearing. But what it comes down to is, if you look at most of the programs out there, a lot of them are going to say, hey, look, we want to get you down to next to nothing or perhaps even zero fees on your transactions. But, we've got a $29.95 per month fee or $10 a month fee or $80 a month fee, whatever it is. They've got different programs out there, as you'll see. And so what it comes down to, though, is even if there's not a monthly fee, in some cases, because there can be, and typically you're going to want to see a little bit of a difference in what a service fee is that you're charging across the board, because that's your elevation in price versus and you may actually go ahead and change all of your pricing up and show on the marquee, hey, here's our new pricing, and then we're discounting off of that. Or we're going to apply across the board, no discrimination. Here's our service fee, and then we discount a specific different cash discount when a customer pays with cash, and that's what provides that discrepancy. It provides that ability to say, no, this is our pricing structure, and here's when someone pays with cash. Here's how we do that, and here's what we offer. So it gives you that ability to be very distinct in your cash discount approach. So in some cases, yeah, we're trying to get to that zero. But again, even if we don't, it's important to let the customers know that's fine. That's actually an okay thing, because if we drop you from $2,500 a month down to $500 a month, well, there's your $2,000 that you can go dump right back into your business or put it in your pocket, whatever the case may be. And so there's definitely benefit, no matter what the situation is, to someone going with a cash discount program.
And one more question for you, before I let you go, Damon, is how do I get started? I'm an ISO, I'm a reseller, I'm a bank. How do I get started? How do I kind of get over those intimidation, any of that intimidation or kind of those, hurdles? What's the best way to get going with you?
So I'll kind of point out three things. One is we have a lot of information on our website, cashdiscount.com. We more than welcome you to come take a look at it, read through it, hit us up with any questions you have. The other might be, hey, if you guys are really wanting to jump in and get a program started, it might be worth working with a legal firm. We're not a legal firm. We're not providing exact legal advice here. It's more or less we're gleaning what's going on out there and sharing what's happening. So that might be a step as well to consider, to ensure that you've got something in your back pocket that you can lean against and feel confident. But when it really boils down to it, it's there. It's legal by our legislation. It's legal in every sense of the word. And really, to get started, if you have a program or you're launching a cash discount program and you're pushing the Poynt device, absolutely get them started on the cash discount app. Extremely easy, very cost effective, and it's a great way to add value to your cash discount program without you having to go through those extra steps.
Well, Damon, can't thank you enough. Obviously, super. This is all great. This is what we need to hear, and it's nice for a lot of these groups that are, there's some groups that are very powerful at cash discount, and some that are, really trying to understand, what their avenue is. So, really do appreciate your time today. For anyone else, feel free to reach out to me directly too if you have any questions. We'll get you in touch with the cash discount team. PoyntSalesGoBoomtown.com. Damon, thanks again, and everybody, thank you for joining.
My pleasure,
talk with
Joey.
you all
thank
soon.
you.
Absolutely. We'll
all
make sure everybody gets a copy of this deck and this webinar. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.